I am Mark Meekhof.
I am Carla Meekhof.
I am Brittany Rollins. I am Lindsay Meekhof.
I'm Haley Meekhof.
Good evening, and welcome to the 20th Annual Kelsey Marie Meekhof Memorial Dinner and Auction.
She just loved all of us so much. She was always happy to see us, no matter what. She's very feisty. I think all the Meekhof girls have that in common.
She always smiled. She had a great laugh and was just always really sweet and wanted to do everything with the family.
Kelsey as a sister, she was always so excited and joyful about everything. She found joy in the smallest, simplest things. So it was just always being around her. Even if you were having a bad day, she just found a way to brighten up your day.
I remember before I was able to read, I would pretend like I was reading books to Kelsey and just make the whole thing up. And she always would sit there and just love it. And it was great. I especially always loved that. So she was a great older sister to have.
I remember taking her down slides and water slides and different things and taking her on rides that I'm not sure she was actually very excited to be on, but she wanted to go on a roller coaster like her sisters did. So we took her on those things. So Kelsey just wanted to be part of the family and be involved, and I think we were all better for that.
Kelsey in high school is again still sassy.
Kelsey in high school was a stinker.
As she got older, she really came into her own and was just really loved to boss people around, had nicknames for people, just really enjoyed being around her friends and us, and kind of really took charge and became a very strong personality.
Well, one of her rewards, her aide, Miss Connie, would bring her into the lunchroom when I was having lunch as a reward for her if she was having a good day, and that just made my day. It was so fun getting to see her.
Kelsey got to ride a special bus that had a lift on it, and I used to always run outside when I knew that her school bus was coming so that I was able to push the button so that Kelsey could come down on the lift, and I always thought that was very special and very cool.
Her interaction with some of the other students who were freshmen, sophomores, and juniors at Penn, they had a peer leader program at Penn, and I'd say 5 years, even 10 years after Kelsey passed away, we would have kids come up to us and say how much fun they had being a peer leader for Kelsey, how much they enjoyed her, and how much they missed her.
Okay, I have a great story about Kelsey. In middle school, she had the same bus driver that she had in elementary school. This bus driver drove her for 10 years. And one day, there was a boy that aggravated her that also rode on that bus. So she told Diane, her bus driver, that he'd already gone home. So she believed her, and they took off. The next thing you know, that they radioed Diane and said that he was still at school. So they had to turn around and pick him up, and Kelsey just laughed and laughed about leaving him there at school.
We used to go to amusement parks all the time, and for Kelsey, there were only so many rides that she could go on, so we, of course, always went on those. But they opened up a roller coaster that was like a mini version of one of the bigger coasters, so we all went on it, our whole family. And the cart had barely started moving. We hadn't even barely gone anywhere yet, and Kelsey just started screaming. But it was like a happy scream, but everyone was really concerned. But she could be so loud. If you think I can be loud, Kelsey can be really loud. And she just screamed the entire ride.
So on Halloween, around our neighborhood, we would put her in her stroller wheelchair, which was a little bit easier to push and move around. However, when we were running to the neighbors' houses and going over in their grass and trying to make it as quick as the other kids because she wanted to keep up with the girls, I was running so fast with her one Halloween that all of a sudden I hit a little divot and flipped her totally out of her chair face down, and all she could do was just laugh and laugh about that, even though all her Halloween candy had spilled everywhere.
One thing we always like to do, we love the movie Shrek. And I used to do this impersonation of the donkey. I would say, "Shrek, I'm looking down." And Kelsey would just die laughing. And I just remember that. It was so fun.
One time when I wanted to give Kelsey a makeover, given this was me when I I was very young. And so I took a bunch of little hair ties and put them up in little pigtails, and her hair is really short, so it's sticking up. And this was in the early 2000s, so bright blue eyeshadow was very much so a thing. And so I put the eyeshadow up to her eyebrows, and then I put on this super bright red blush, and she was loving it the whole time, and she thought it looked so great, and of course it looked terrible. But I just remember we have great pictures of that, and so that was a lot of fun.
At first, the first time we went there, I thought there was no way Kelsey would get on that big old horse because she was scared of little dogs. But she got right up on the horse, and for her therapy, she would relax really good. Her muscles were always tight, and when she got off the horse, she was so relaxed. It was amazing, and she loved it there.
Reins of Life for me is just a place where we got to watch our sister do something that was just hers.
She loved it. I mean, I felt like she just really, it just added so much more joy. Whenever she went, when she knew it was the day she was going to Reins of Life, and she just gets so excited about it.
'Cause I remember one time when my mom was dropping us off for a tennis camp, and Kelsey was really sad because she wasn't able to do it. So Reins of Life was her activity that she was allowed to do, and I know that she absolutely loved it.
So I think it gave her just a sense of pride that she had something that she could do, that she could call her own, that was structured, it was a regular activity, and she could be just like her sisters.
I think supporting Reins of Life is really important because it affects the entire community.
You should become a supporter because it does amazing things to all kinds of kids and adults who really, this is their one thing that really brings them happiness.
I think that everybody should become a supporter of Reins of Life for what it does for all these children, young adults, and adults. It is amazing that children that never talk start talking. Children that have never walked start walking.
When we have events like this once a year and parents come speak and they tell how impacted their children have been, it's just so moving. And so if you're able to be involved and contribute, you're really changing people's lives, not only the children but the parents.
Really, Reins is this group of people that's coming together to support the riders and their families, and it becomes a place of just fun, and they get to enjoy being together as a family and not maybe worrying about some other stressful things in their life.
Amazing.
Hope.
Inspirational.
Limitless.
Hope.